Drew, many times out there in the bullpen, you're going to be asked to warm up, sit down, warm up, sit down. Tell me about the change in mental preparation, in routine, as opposed to when you had a defined role as a closer to what your current role is now.
Yeah, it's controlling the warm-ups. You obviously, like yesterday, I had to get up and before I guess it'd be the seventh there. You don't want to waste all your bullets down there. And when you're talking, being ready day to day, that's what really gets you more than throwing in a game. So, it's just, especially early in the season, it's going to take you a little bit longer to warm up. But as the season goes on, it can be happening a little bit faster. So.
95 career saves in 6 seasons. You've watched Roberto Osuna so far this season. What's impressed you about this young guy?
Obviously, the stuff's great. I think the biggest thing for me is, when you see the crowd getting into it, 2 strikes, 2 outs, he doesn't try to do too much. And that's something when I was younger, you soak in that moment and you get caught up in it. And sometimes you maybe try to overthrow one, but he doesn't get caught up in that. He attacks guys. He's got, like I said, great stuff. His changeup's unbelievable. So he's been fun to watch.
A lot of new faces in that bullpen. I always see you and Brett Cecil together walking out there. I know you have a common interest in hockey. I know Canadian fans are going to love to hear that. Tell me how much that helps when you're trying to kind of transition with the new team to have teammates that have common interests as yourself.
Yeah, it is nice thing about baseball. We're all pretty similar. But with Cease, we do both like hockey, and we spend so much time in the bullpen. You end up getting close to a lot of people, and but him and I are kind of on the same routine, so it works out pretty well. And it's nice now that the season started and got through spring training. I know a lot more names now.
Washington Capitals, I know you're a big fan. Tell me about any interactions you've had with some of the Capitals guys. I know they're in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They lost last time out to the Flyers. However, I know you've got a very prized possession in a Alex Ovechkin stick. Is that true?
Yeah, I have an Ovechkin stick. I've got an Oshie stick. I've got an Alzer. I got a few. So luckily, my buddy Carl Alzer hooks me up with some gear, and we trade out quite a bit. And Holtby lived right down the street from me last year too, so I got to know him and have some interesting talks because we both kind of have some thankless jobs. I feel like very similar line of work, except his is a lot harder than mine. So it's neat for me. I'm a big fan of hockey because I don't really understand it. So it's something I didn't really.
Honest.
Yeah. So for me, it's really cool because it's so fast. And whereas like basketball, growing up playing it, okay, I know it, but I can be a true fan with hockey.
Speaking, good segue, by the way. I know you're a big fan of the NBA, particularly the Indiana Pacers, and I'm going to name drop because I read in my research that you've kind of, rubbed elbows with one Reggie Miller. What's going on there? How'd the two of you get together?
So Dad was a sports director of the CBS affiliate there in Indianapolis for a while, and so he'd do his live shots for the 5 and 6. At Marcus Square Arena, so I'd go with him and I'd play horse with Reggie, except we played Reggie. So he never let me win, which was great. And then he lived in our neighborhood too, so he'd come over on his jet ski or whatever too, and he came to my 8-year-old birthday party, which honestly at the time I knew he was kind of a big deal, but I didn't know he was that big of a deal. So because he was always so good to me. So it was fantastic. I go to a lot of Pacer games in the off season, and I know Toronto fans won't want to hear it, but I got to stick with my hometown team.
Okay, yes, the Toronto Raptors are taking on the Pacers. I think they'll let this one slide since it's your first season. Let me ask you, you brought up your father. I've always said to people that you're very media savvy in the short time I've gotten to know you, and you come from a family of broadcasters. You talked about your dad, but you also have a cousin in ESPN, Hannah Storm, who has paved the way for women in our industry, including myself. How has that helped you in your interactions with the media?
It helped me a lot. Growing up, I'm not scared of the camera. And, just in hearing my dad talk about, how, when somebody's on TV and they do something wrong, and like, hey, don't do that. And so for me, it's just something I understand too, that the media has a job to do as well. And so I understand that, what they're looking for when they ask a question. And, like I said, you just kind of want to make it conversational and not force it too much.
Oh, Drew Storen, I wish there were so many more players like yourself. Thank you for this. Great catching up with you. I really appreciate getting to know you a little bit more. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, guys, Drew Storen, let's send it back to you.